Neptune, Saturn, and Chiron all station retrograde in the sign of Aries in the month of July, which means that we are reflecting on our independence and seeing how much it really serves us. So in today's video, let's break down what these three retrogrades mean and how they will impact you. Hello and welcome back to the channel. I'm Isabel, your spiritual rebel friend, and today we're taking a quick moment to talk about the three retrogrades that are happening in July with Neptune, Saturn, and Chiron in the sign of Aries. Hopefully today including some details on when exactly these retrogrades start and end, and more importantly, talking about the major theme that is being presented with these retrogrades and how it personally impacts you and what the deeper spiritual lesson is behind these transits, especially because in modern day astrology, retrogrades are extremely fear-mongered and oftentimes raise an eyebrow of concern. And I want to clear some of this confusion up because after I hear countless clients always saying, oh my gosh, this retrograde, I'm not ready for it. Retrogrades are an opportunity to slow down, rest, reflect, and get clear on your path forward, and are actually one of the most rewarding transits we can experience. So in today's video, I want to break that all down briefly as I have a few minutes to record today. And before we dive in, before we go any further, be sure to book a reading where in 1 hour you can get personalized guidance to the stars and how they are affecting you. If you are someone who is looking for clarity, who wants guidance, or is seeking advice, these readings are meant for you. Sky's the limit. Learn more down below. I am about to raise my prices on my reading, so if you want to grab a 1 hour reading for just $100, do so now. Link is in the description box below or in the card up above. First, while I'm thinking of it, I'm going to put the dates over the screen for when these three retrogrades begin so that you have a timeline on these. But personally, I'm kind of blending all of these retrogrades together as they cover very similar topics and simply saying that the month of July begins a retrograde period around the Aries archetype. Specifically, July 4th, Neptune stations retrograde in Aries at 2 degrees, where it will be until December, I believe. July 13th, Saturn stations retrograde at 1 degree of Aries, and July 30th, at the end of the month, Chiron stations retrograde in Aries as well. All three of these retrogrades mean that we are reflecting and revisiting themes of independence, and I think this ties into a greater storyline that began 2 years ago in regards to the Aries archetype. Normally, I don't like going this far into the past for my interpretations of astrology, but I feel that it suits right now. 2 years ago, or over the last 2 years, roughly, we have had eclipses and the North Node in Aries. This means that we have all been growing to and through the Aries archetype. We have developed our relationship with the Aries archetype in a certain area of our life from roughly July of 2023 to January of this year. And we've had eclipses since April of 2023 in the sign of Aries. So we've had massive changes around the Aries archetype in a certain area of our life. What exactly does this mean, changes with the Aries archetype? We've all been learning more independence, assertion, authenticity, and healing our relationship with aggression. I would love for you to take a moment when I say those words to think about how has my relationship to independence changed over the last 2 years? How's my relationship with authenticity changed? How have I learned to assert myself more? Because chances are you can see that there is a certain area of life where you have initiated more independence, more authenticity, and asserted yourself, and potentially even started to reflect on your relationship with aggression and maybe have healed your relationship with aggression to become more assertive in a certain area of your life. If you want to know the certain area of life, look to your sun sign and count how many signs away Aries is, whatever number that is the house that was active for you with Aries energy. And you can also look to your birth chart and look what house Aries is in your birth chart wheel. It may possibly be 2 houses if you're using the Placidus system, and these are 2 areas of your life where you've learned to initiate more independence, authenticity, and assertion. So over the last 2 years, point being, to tie this into the retrogrades now, we have initiated something new and grown our relationship with independence, authenticity, and self-assertion. But now, with these planets going retrograde, Neptune, Saturn, and Chiron, we are backtracking on how much independence we initiate I think in particular. I could also say independence, authenticity, and assertion, but I think independence is the main theme, specifically around how much we think we can truly be self-sufficient and live alone in the world. Because over the last 2 years, we've learned to just be happy on our own in a certain area of our life. And this has been healthy and positive for our growth. As the North Node transited here, the universe wanted us to grow this independence, but now with these planets stationing retrograde, we're questioning the value. Specifically, the details of that, with Neptune going retrograde, we're questioning the ideals behind independence. Are we being too idealistic about how independent we should be? Are we being too idealistic around how self-sufficient we should be? Are we being too idealistic around how authentic we should be in our lives? Is it isolating us? And with Saturn retrograde in Aries specifically, we are questioning how we structure ourselves. Is this independence being more restrictive rather than giving us a capacity to experience life more deeply? Is it creating too much containment, as that is a theme of Saturn? And with Chiron retrograde, we're questioning if there's still wounds around independence that are unconsciously motivating our behavior. So the 3 questions you can really ask yourself with these retrogrades is, am I being too idealistic about my independence? Is this independence that I'm living in the world being more restrictive rather than freeing? And are there unhealed wounds still around independence or beliefs around independence that need further healing? So it's healing, ideals, and restriction are kind of the main themes coming along with this Aries energy. And so you can kind of consider how these 3 topics of ideals, restriction, and healing play into the storyline that have played out for you over the last 2 years. On an even deeper level, these 3 retrogrades also tie into a storyline that is playing out now with Jupiter entering Cancer, especially because Jupiter and Saturn are very much yin and yang with one another. Jupiter is expansion, Saturn is contraction. Jupiter's like our inner happy, playful child who believes in the law of attraction and sees that I don't have to work hard to gain anything. I just have to believe in my abundance. And Saturn says you have to have work ethic and work hard and work for the things that you want. So these are very much yin and yang. And the fact that Jupiter is in Cancer and Saturn is retrograde in Aries, these really go hand in hand, especially even more so because Jupiter entered Cancer June 9th of 2025 and immediately squared Neptune and Saturn in Aries. Cancer and Aries are at a specific degree with one another where they don't see eye to eye. They're both cardinal signs and they want to initiate different things that take them oftentimes in opposite, different directions, words that don't really get along. Aries thinks, do it my way. I'm going to just do it by myself. I want to do it all on my own. I don't need anyone. And Cancer says, well, you should accept support. We should let ourselves be supported. Ask for care, ask for consideration. This is really the relationship with oftentimes anxious attachment, where we feel we need someone at the worst, is Cancer energy, and hyper independence is Aries energy. And so with these squares, we basically feel this confliction starting June 9th between I want to receive emotional nurturance and emotional support, but this doesn't go in alignment with the independence I've worked so hard to establish over the last 2 years. And so I'd love to hear down in the comments below, starting roughly June 9th, have you felt this call for more emotional security, emotional support, emotional nurturance, and softening in your life, but it feels like it challenges or may lead to you losing the independence that you worked so hard to achieve over the last 2 years? I think this is a storyline that plays out for many people. But simply put, the reason I'm tying in Jupiter and Cancer in the first place is that there's this dynamic that's being presented alongside with these retrogrades of how much independence serves us. Specifically is the desire for independence taking up too much space in our life and not leaving enough room for us to receive emotional nurturance, emotional security, emotional support. Emotional nurturance, emotional security, and emotional support are things we all need. Everyone has the Cancer archetype in their birth chart wheel. Everyone needs the Cancer archetype. We all deserve and need emotional security, emotional support, emotional protection, emotional softening. That is present with Jupiter currently in Cancer. We're being asked to expand our capacity to receive emotional support, emotional security, and emotional nurturance in a certain field of our life. And so these retrogrades are symbolically going on alongside Jupiter in Cancer to ask us to question how much space independence takes up in our life, how much independence serves, how much authenticity and being on our own and walking our own path serves us, and so that we can make more space for this desire for emotional nurturance, emotional security, emotional support. And so these are very much two-tied stories. I would recommend you watch my video on Jupiter entering Cancer to learn more about these Jupiter and Cancer themes, because these whole retrogrades serve the point of creating space for this Cancerian energy so that you can receive the emotional support, emotional security, and emotional nurturance you deserve. Now, I will not go into horoscopes for all signs today because I don't have the time to do so. Maybe I will publish some on YouTube Shorts / TikTok. It is easier for me right now to make content on TikTok because it's much faster to put up right now. So be sure to follow me on TikTok at The Spiritual Rebel. Same handle as it is here on YouTube if you want more updates, and drop a comment down below if you want specific signs horoscopes or what you want to hear next on the channel. But overall, these retrogrades are a gift to help us make space for more emotional fulfillment in our lives. Do not take these retrogrades as something to be feared or that are meaning that you're backtracking in life. You are in the end reflecting and revisiting old topics and old modes of being so that you can make sure that you are in the greatest alignment. Retrogrades are introspection, not doom. So let me know down in the comments below, what is your sun sign? What is your rising? How do you feel that these retrogrades are going to be affecting you? Do you see this dynamic playing out with your independence? What is your relationship like to independence? How does this play into the greater storyline that has played out for you over the last 2 years? I would love to hear your thoughts down in the comments below, and be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel and stay tuned for more videos breaking down the stars and more. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I sincerely hope you enjoyed. Once again, my name's Isabel, and from my heart to yours, namaste.